And here we go. Game 2 of the day. Alex Newhook with it with Dylan Cousins. Some reconstituted lines for Canada. Of course, Kirby Dach injured in the pre-tournament game. And we lost to Canada for the rest of the tournament. Bowen Byram back at the point. Feeds it back across. Newhook, a shot, rebound. In comes Cousins, and he hit the goalpost. Tim Stützle, the German captain, plays it rink wide for J.J. Peterka. Tries to center it. Peterka has that knocked down by Cousins. Rebound in front. The net is off. Feeds across to Peterka. J.J. Peterka slides that in. Lukas Reichel, a first-round pick of Chicago, is not here for Team Germany. So you think about Stützle, Peterka, and Reichel, a trinity of great forwards up front. Moritz Seider on defense, stayed in Rögle in the Swedish league. Had he gone to the German camp, he would have missed 22 games for Rögle, which is a first-place team in the Swedish hockey league. There's no relegation this year, so Germany's safe without him.
And they're also missing their starting goaltender, Thomas Ančička. So, I mean, these were heavy losses for Germany this year.
But you think about that group of young players, and Leon Draisaitl's only 25. It's not like he's an old goat. He just named Germany's Athlete of the Year. Tiefensee tried to put
Dubé scored with the man advantage.
Holloway gets a face-off warning. Wins the draw back to Barron. And Justin Barron feeds it down the ice. Tiefensee, the German goaltender, by the way, was the netminder of record for the Germans in the under-18 Division 1A in 2019. They won promotion to the top group, so Germany's in the top level in the World Championship, the World Junior, and the under-18. First time in a long time for them. Ten seconds to go in the German power play. Canada a 2-0 lead. Canada back in action tomorrow against Slovakia. Now a steal by Holloway. Holloway moves in. Trying to center for Cousins. Holloway got spun around. Dylan Cousins comes in to help out. Henriquez Morales plays it out.
Oh, boy.
Against Holloway. And Holloway wins it cleanly. Back to Barron, who fires it down. Simon Grip goes back for it. Leaves it there for Stützle. You'll see most, if not all, of the 5 minutes for Germany.
His minutes aren't going down.
Here he comes across the line. Stützle tied up by Barron. And behind the goal, picked up and fired down the ice.
Thing at the toe. I'm not real sure what it all adds up to, but the way he handles it, it works real well.
Walking in and firing. Stützle put that just wide. Grip back to Stützle. Being harassed there by Peltier. Grip a long shot. That floats high and wide. Peterka with it. J.J. Peterka. Lost the puck to Holloway. Sent it down. And for a generation
here playing for Munich and in the DEL. So last year, those 3 young German forwards you're talking about, Lukas Reichel played in Berlin. Peterka played in Munich. And Stützle played in Mannheim, and they all did pretty well. It's really quite something to see how well these kids play.
It was a long slog for Germany after getting relegated in 2015. It took 5 years to get back to the top group. But good results at the Olympics in 2018. Probably should have won the gold medal there. A good world championship the following spring. And now a ton of young players coming for a country that's got lots of competition for young athletes. Holloway moves in. Dylan Holloway winds his way in. Holloway drops it back to Drysdale. Steps into that. That was blocked in front.
Pokes it away.
Byram had a great World Junior last year, sort of. He played really well. They got really violently sick in the semifinal game. Couldn't play.
That opened the door for Jamie Drysdale, who stepped in and did an amazing job. And Dale Hunter talked about him, but he's an energetic player. He really does a lot of things that will help your team.
Right before the draft, a couple weeks before the draft. That's the only line, by the way, where they stayed together, right, since the pre-tournament. Peterka centers it. Ilya spins it back in front. Newhook knocked that away from Stützle. And Byram fires it down off the inboards. It goes right to Holloway, walks it and shoots short side. Just missed. winding down here in the period. Holloway, who's an Edmonton Oilers draft pick, taken 14th overall in 2020. Newhook plays it across. Korzak feeds it back. A bouncing puck is batted away. Elias plays out away to the blue line. Peterka's got it back. Goes rink wide for Stutzler. Thomas Harley stays with him and knocks that away.
It was something else.
But this is something they might want to get cleaned up. But this does happen in the NHL occasionally, where the feed that we get on TV is different than what they see in the NHL video room.
And the problem with it, of course, is it's very confusing, as we just saw, for everybody watching.
Now Dubé walks in, trying to feed that back in front. That was broken up. What a good play by Dubé. Back comes Alex Newhook with it. Up for Cousins. That's batted down by Ganip at the German line. Holloway moves in. The pass with Cousins is too far. Newhook back with it. And Blitzel feeds that across. Ganip leads the rush now for Germany. Ganip with a shot that was blocked in front. There's Korzak got in the way. And Thomas Harley races to it. Schumacher got there first. Here's Cousins. Cousins bats down the bouncing puck and chips that across. In comes Holloway, and he ran over.
Well, you start seeing guys, Nick Malik played goal for the Czechs today, and of course his father Marek played in the NHL for a while. But you guys that were around 20 years ago, you're starting to get a little close now.
Elias with a chance, and Levi makes the stop. Back from Krobot and fires it back down to the German zone. Holloway got straightened up. Henriquez Morales got poke checked at center ice. Brought in by Newhook. In comes Alex Newhook. Linsenberger with a backhand shot score. Alex Newhook. About hair. Now, of course, a lot of barber shops are closed now, so that's Newhook's excuse. But if Jerry had to do it himself, when Newhook goes back to college, his hair will be collar length.
What a terrific journey Alex Newhook has been on. Across the country, back and forth.
Holloway sends it. Cousins with a chance. That's stopped by Gare. The rafters with fans.
Not just for us, for these kids too. I mean, they get to play in an NHL building. For a lot of them, they won't get a chance to do that again. And the electricity of the building when it's full, and they just miss it all.
Holloway drops it back. Cousins able to make the stop. I think back to the 09 tournament in Ottawa, and Danny Kerman, who's now a supervisor for the IHF, was the game referee in that one. And before he came on the ice, the crowd in Ottawa, all on their feet, the building literally shaking before the players came on the ice. And Danny looked around, and he's worked the Olympics, you name it. And to this day, he says that night in Ottawa, right before the game, was one of the great moments of his hockey life. Byron feeds it across. Korzak a long shot. That's knocked away by Gare. Now, Cousins feeds it back in front. Rebound, score. It's Newhook again. And it's 8-1. You never know who the hero might be. Byron back with it. This tournament was a straight round robin until 1996 when the medal round format was instituted. So we've had 25 years of gold medal games in the World Junior. The old format was interesting because every game mattered. One loss could knock you out. Like you mentioned, the U.S. lost 2 games in 2013. You would not win the gold medal losing 2 games in the round robin format.
Yeah, but you lose the gold medal game.
So a lot of times Canada clinched, or a team would clinch in their dressing room on an off day. Robot with it. Ganip with a shot that was blocked by Drysdale in front. And Drysdale pokes it around to Byron. Still to come tonight. We'll be here for USA Austria. The Americans will try to bounce back from their loss. The sand. Doing a lot of leg work to work on his strength.
Buffalo must be pretty happy looking at this game tonight. You've got J.J. Peterka for Germany and Cousins here, and got to be very happy with what they see from these 2 players.
There's a shot that goes wide. There's a Canadian who's played a lot of international hockey, the World Junior, and also at the Olympics. Jeff Carter, who's a center and winger who plays both well. A good skater, right-hand shot. There's a lot of similarities.
There is. you know, the one thing about Jeff Carter is he could be out there in tennis shoes and he'd still score. Dylan Cousins for his second of the night.
And remember, Ray, only 5 Canadian players have played games this year.
Reps are going to be needed. I mean, they shouldn't have much trouble with their first 3 games, and so you would think they would be able to spread the lineup, the minutes out a little bit to get everybody involved.
And as we said, we won't see the real German team try to get their players back in those last couple of games against Slovakia and Switzerland. Brought out now by Goulet. Aiden Goulet flips out of 20-plus years in this group. You're 10 now.
A lot of Christmases together where it's just been the group.
New hook. Being watched there by Kobot. Enriquez Morales comes in. New hook with Cousins and Holloway. Cousins winds and shoots from a sharp angle and scores. Cousins strikes again, and it's that away. And now Pelche along with Holloway. Elias lost the puck to Holloway. Canada has a short-handed goal in the game, scored by Dawson Mercer. They're all policemen. In comes Holloway along with Newhook. Holloway spinning back. Schumacher on the boards. Tomasino knocks it down. Goulet flips it back for Holloway. People wonder now if goal differential matters.
It's all kind of awkward when you get to a new team. Nobody knows who's going out, when, where. Everybody, 5 guys want to be the last guy out of the room. You got a traffic jam back there. A couple guys want to go out first. Takes a little bit, and they just haven't had a chance to play.